The new JBL Live 3 earbuds make a good case for being the most innovative and trend-setting earbuds in 2024. If you've been searching for a new pair of earbuds or an alternative to the Apple AirPods Pro, well, JBL have some good options for you. And a lot of the options you will get here, you won't get anywhere else. And there are a few advantages that these earbuds have over the competition and the Apple AirPods Pro that you should definitely consider if you're thinking about making a new sound investment. But first, let me give you a close-up look at the design of this version. These ones right here are called the JBL Live Beam 3. And they call these the Beam because they have that stem style design. The buds have 6 microphones in total and wear detect sensors on both sides. Now, if the stem style earbuds are not your style and you prefer the more rounded buds, or if you hate silicone tips, well, JBL have the solution for you because they actually released 3 different versions of these earbuds: the Beam 3, the Live Buds 3, and the Live Flex 3, which are open fit earbuds. The color options on these are blue, black, purple, and silver, and the retail price at launch is €179.99 here in the UK, €199, and probably round about there in dollars. Now, one of the Live 3 series unique selling points is, of course, the touchscreen built into the case, and this is actually JBL's second generation of this case screen concept. The JBL Pro Tour 2 was the first test run, and whilst these are a brilliant set of earbuds and they sound amazing, the case is significantly larger than the average earbud case. And JBL are well aware of this, and they have managed to shrink down the case here on the Live 3 so that now these earbuds do indeed pass the Cowboy Pocket Watch Pocket Test. And if you're wondering why I call that test the Cowboy Pocket Watch Pocket Test, it's because apparently that pocket was designed for cowboys who wanted to carry their pocket watch around with them. And even though the case is smaller and it does draw power for the display, somehow JBL have managed to pack 36 hours of backup power in it. And what might be even more impressive is the fact that the earbuds with ANC on can run up to 10 hours. Now, at this point in time, anywhere between 6 to 8 hours is considered good. So 10 hours, yeah, that's very good. And a quick 10-minute charge of the buds can give you up to 4 hours of additional playback. And the case can go from 0 to 100 in just 2 hours with a wired connection. On the back of the case, you have the Bluetooth pairing button, a USB-C charging port, and an LED indicator light that lets you know when power is being received. And this is also echoed on the screen temporarily with a little animation. And yes, Qi wireless charging is supported here. Also on the case is a space to attach a lanyard to the corner, and there's a lip on the front of the case to flip the lid open with one hand. And while the case does not have an official waterproof or dust resistancy rating, the earbuds themselves do. They're rated at IP55, making them suitable for the gym. However, you don't want to be getting hit with a hose.
First, the crowds, watch out, this poor guy's about to get knocked down. Bam!
The Beams 3 have a soft, rounded pill-shaped design, similar to the Pro Tours, but with less sharp edges. And the pill-shaped area towards the top of the stems highlight the capacitive touch areas on both sides. Single taps, double taps, push and holds are recognized on both sides and are remappable within the app. There are a bunch of silicone tips provided, and they all have a layer inside to protect the metal speaker grill, and they are washable. And the Live 3 series are equipped with 10mm dynamic drivers that are capable of delivering a frequency response of 20 Hz to 40 kHz. And this brings me on to one good reason why, in theory, these should sound a lot better than the Apple AirPods. It is, of course, that these earbuds support high-res audio via LDAC. So a lot of people mention high-res audio in their videos, but they never really explain the significance of it. So I've come up with this simple way to sort of represent what it does visually for you guys. So standard earbuds such as the AirPods, for example, will typically have a range of 20 Hz to 20 kHz, and they usually use AAC and SBC codecs, which are great because they say the human hearing range is between 20 Hz and 20 kHz. So the question you might have is, why even bother going further than 20 Hz to 20 kHz? Well, there's a very good reason, and here's the explainer that I've come up with, and if this makes sense to you, then that's a big win for me. So please let me know in the comments if it does or not. So let's say, for example, you're listening to an audio track and there's a female vocalist lead in that track, and her vocal range is somewhere around here on the frequency response range. Now, let's say There's also guitars and pianos, and occasionally in the song, they hit similar octaves to the vocalist. What will happen is the vocals and the instrumental track will be very, very close together, and at times it may even clash. A good producer can solve these problems very cleverly, but the reality is this. If you have a wider frequency response range, let's say 40 kilohertz, and you introduce LDAC, which is capable of streaming much more data much more quickly, what happens then is the frequency response range opens up, and now the female vocals in the track can be placed more precisely, and so can the instruments, and therefore you will hear more definition in the audio. So I really hope that's helped you make sense of high-res audio and the importance of codecs like LDAC. There are others out there, but the Live 3 do use LDAC. But sound is subjective, so now let me show you actually how you can make these earbuds sound better for you specifically. Within the JBL app, you can perform a hearing test. JBL calls it Persona Phi 3.0. And based on your hearing abilities, it will create the perfect EQ for you. So how do the Live 3 earbuds actually sound? Well, when listening via AAC codec, they're very competitive with the Apple AirPods Pro. But when customized with the Persona Phi 3.0 and listening to audio via LDAC from a high-res audio source such as Tidal, the audio quality gap widens. And the great thing about these earbuds, and a big differentiator between these and the AirPods, for example, is you can always switch up the EQ pretty much at any time and according to the content that you're consuming on the fly. And thanks to the case, you can do this without even using your phone. And there's really no point of having customized, precisely tuned audio if half of the audio is leaking out around the earbuds. And with the JBL earbuds, you can actually check whether that's happening or not. And also within the app, you get JBL's extensively researched Harman curve dialed in. It's also known as the JBL signature sound, and this is the studio EQ that you'll find here. And the reason I point this out is because Harman is one of the planet's largest audio research groups, and this EQ is the real deal. So unlike the Apple AirPods, like I said in the intro, the Live 3 series gives you a lot of options. If you want more bass, that's an option. If you want lower latency for gaming and watching movies, that's an option. If you want spatial audio, that is also, you know what I'm going to say. And if you want to manually dial in an EQ, that's also an option. So you get where I'm going with this. A lot of earbud manufacturers really don't give you this many options. There's one more, the control options. And this brings me on to the biggest asset here on the Live 3. It is the touchscreen on the case. Now, why would you even want to use a tiny screen like this when you likely have your phone in your pocket? Well, two significant advantages of this is as soon as you take the earbuds out of your case, you don't need to look for your phone because you can launch the music right here on the earbuds and you can play around with the settings without even having to boot up the app. And you won't have to go through that process of trial and error trying to figure out using the touch controls what mode you're in or how much battery you have left on them, because you can literally see it. Now, those are small usability advantages, but here's a big one. You can access all your unique custom settings on any device you connect the Live 3s to, even when the JBL app is not installed on that device. Another little bonus feature is that you can see incoming calls and answer those calls via the case, and you can also get message previews on the screen as well. Now, this is all great and very unique, but I do believe there's still room for improvement, because what would truly elevate this concept to the next level is if music could be downloaded from streaming services and temporarily stored here on the case itself. And I do realize there must be a lot of red tape around copyrights and duplicating work and things like that. But if one day it is possible, that would truly be a game changer. So to sum this up, if you're an Apple user and you're worried about compatibility, you shouldn't be, because the JBL Live 3s do support AAC and SBC just like the AirPods, but they have that added advantage of the high-res audio codec. The connectivity is via Bluetooth 5.3. This means these earbuds can connect to two devices simultaneously, for example, your phone and your computer. And if you do happen to lose these earbuds, they do support Google Finder, and this means that If anybody with an Android phone walks past your earbuds, it will update the location on the Google map and you will be able to find them. And in regards to ANC, are they any good? Well, I can only tell you from real world experiences. For example, I did use these on a flight back from Amsterdam and today whilst I was cutting the grass with a lawnmower, and I can tell you the ANC is very good. And guess what? You do have options when it comes to ANC because you can adjust it, and you can even set it to adjust automatically on the fly depending on the noise around you. Now check this out, this is the mic quality on these earbuds and this is how my voice sounds with the natural setting. And yes, there are options when it comes to the mic pickup. This is natural. This is the powerful voice setting within the app, and this is the bright setting. So if you want to, you can change up how the mic sounds to other people, and you can also do it the other way around as well and change how their voice sounds through the earbuds. I wish there was a Morgan Freeman setting on here. It was at that moment he realized he f***ed up.
It was at this moment that he knew he f***ed up. Bam!
There he goes.
That would be fantastic. So ultimately, the JBL Live 3 at launch is reasonably priced for what it can deliver and the amount of options that you get from them. They are £50 cheaper than the very popular AirPods Pro 2, and the build quality is arguably as premium, and they look good. And I do believe the sound quality is good enough to go toe to toe with some of the best. And if you're into bass heavy music, they're definitely equipped to provide that. So here's a sound piece of advice for you. If you're looking for new earbuds, don't just default to what everyone else seems to be using. Shop around a bit and consider the options first. So I appreciate you guys for watching this one. If you found it useful, please leave me a comment, maybe a thumbs up. And if you just subscribed, you're now one of the finest subscribers known to man. See you in the next one. Don't be late.